It looks very difficult to play this move. Knight takes f6 is a really cool way to penetrate. After rook takes f6, now we go d7. Both rooks are not on the back rank, so we can play this trade. A really cool rook maneuver starting with rook f5, which you saw at the beginning of this video. Queen e3 check, king g2. If queen e2 check, king h3, this is the really cool idea. All these squares that black has the chance to give perpetual are covered. f1 is covered by the rook, and so is h5 by the queen. What did Kovalev do wrong against Carlsen? It is round 4 of the Isle of Man tournament. Kovalev had a brilliant opportunity to beat Magnus Carlsen, ending his 93 game winning streak. Let's check out the key moments of this game together. We will go through the opening very quickly and look at a few key missed chances. Let's begin. Kovalev has white, Carlsen has black, and the game began with a d6 Sicilian. Kovalev throws in bishop b5 check. We have this variation. And let's get to a key point. Bishop d8. This is really creative with knight ge7 and then castle. The bishop might come to b6 or to a5. Really cool way to play, and Kovalev already spending some time in the opening. Castle, we get this imbalance already, leading to a very interesting game. Knight d5, bishop out. We have knight d2, and white is going to go knight e4 soon after f5. We have the capture, the knight comes in, g3, queen g6, just get out of the way. Knight on d5 is so strong, so Carlsen decides to take, and now we have knight e7. After knight e7, white is taking over. d6, we have queen b3 check, queen d5, bishop f6 to connect the rooks, rook a e1, and now f4. Here we begin the key part of this video. White is progressing in the center. Carlsen decides to rid of the bishop with knight e3, rook e3, and white's position just keeps building. ef4, rook f4, h6. Now where did white go wrong? d7, that's a great move. Ideally we want rook e8 to work in the future. Now another possibility, which looks incorrect, it looks very difficult to play this move. Knight takes f6 is a really cool way to penetrate. After rook takes f6, now we go d7. Both rooks are not on the back rank, so we can play this trade. d7, and now if rook takes f4, just g takes f4. The queen on g6 is a defender. If there's a way to get rid of the queen on g6 defending the e8 square, then white will come in. If king h7, rook e6 is the move, and there's no way for black to still defend e8. You move the queen to f7, nice tactic here, just winning the queen anyway. Rook takes h6 check. d7 is still winning for Kovalev. This was the first missed opportunity. Let's keep playing. Bishop e7. White doubles rooks on the f-file, take, b5. Black really doesn't have any good moves, and Kovalev decides to play knight takes c5. Another move here, a really cool rook maneuver starting with rook f5, which you saw at the beginning of this video. Let's have a look at the worst options. If rook g8, just doing nothing, then rook e5, bishop d8, rook e6. We have this really cool rook maneuver. This rook dance of queen g4, trying to throw in some perpetuals. White keeps his cool, king g2 controlling all the squares. If queen e2 check, knight f2. Guards everything. After rook f5, if black plays a pass, let's say king h7, we still go rook e5. If you move the bishop, then rook e6. Really cool rook dance, and a missed opportunity by Kovalev. Queen f7, queen f5 check. King h8, and then we can grab the bishop on f6. Coming into the black position, knight takes f6, and after take, rook takes f6, queen takes d7, and white has a few different ways to win this position. Rook f8 check, or rook takes h6. If you go rook f8 check, if you take, then white is completely winning after capturing the queen. Now after rook f8 check, king g7, it should be mate very soon. Queen f6 check, we're good. King h7, and then we can just bring the rook back, winning the house. Knight takes c5 played. This was the second opportunity missed by white. Let's have a look. Bishop takes, queen takes, and king h7 played by Magnus. Because rook takes d7 doesn't work, because queen c8 check will pick up the rook. King h7 played, threatening rook takes d7, queen d5 protecting, queen g5, queen e4 check, dancing around, no perpetual. It's getting very difficult for white to come up with a plan. Queen d6 coming into c7, queen g6, queen c7 possible, but then we go back to g5, queen d6, queen g6, queen c7, dancing again. So already it's very difficult for white to come up with a plan. Maybe we can come back, admit our mistake, and then play this move, rook f5. Really difficult to see after rook f5. You do give black the chance to come in, but now rook f4, cutting the queen, going back to g5. But at the moment I'm not really understanding this, because the queen can come back to e7 to defend. Rook f7, okay, queen e2, and now just king g1. Really a computer line. Difficult to explain. After king g1, well, white now has two possibilities. Queen d4 check, queen f5 check coming in. If queen e3 check, king g2. If queen e2 check, king h3. This is the really cool idea. All these squares that black has the chance to give perpetual are covered. f1 is covered by the rook, and so is h5 by the queen. If a6, then queen f5 check, king g8, queen g6, and still everything is covered. h5 and f1. If you come back and defend with queen e5, how to penetrate this? You go d4. Wow, d4 works. Let's have a look. If d4, well, my first question is queen d4, what's the difference? Rook e7, and we're coming back in. It looks like after the two missed opportunities by Kovalev, this third one is just computer-esque, so difficult to understand. After queen c6, it looks like Carlsen is very close to holding a draw, because he plays a really cool backward move with queen e7. The point is to threaten to grab the d7 pawn. If queen takes b5, rook takes d7, the dangerous pawn is gone. Notice here, a3 and d3 are hanging. Carlsen is back in the game. Queen f5 check played, g6, queen f8. Kovalev decides to trade queens, leading to a drawn rook endgame. The queens come off, king comes here, rook a8, making sure pawn for pawn, and in such a position black's rook is more active. Rook d2 check, king g1 draw agreed. If we keep playing, check. If white tries to keep the pawn, then h5, a4, g5. After g5, white just has to be careful. g4 and rook takes h to his mate, so you can just go g4, and this is the problem. You can just take it, and after take we just have a pawn each, and then it will be a draw. A nice escape by Carlsen. Check out one video here and check out another video over here. If you enjoyed this video, then why not consider liking it and subscribing to the channel at the same time. Don't forget to hit that bell as well. Thanks for watching, until next time.